Hello, my artsy and crafty friends. This is 𝗣𝗽𝗶𝗃𝗃. I am here today with my Monteverde Ambassador box. All this arrived today. I am beyond thrilled. I get to test out new pens, new inks, and I'm going to show you all what I got in my box. I'll be swatching out the inks, and I will also be filling the pens and testing them out. So stay tuned. Okay, so I will go ahead and first swatch the inks with the Q-tip and underneath write the name of the color of the ink with the pen. This is California Teal. This is one of the original ink colors from Monteverde. And there it is. I think it's really pretty. It's like, teal. It's kind of basically a deep blue-green. So that is that ink. Now, let me grab a paper towel here. I am forever needing these. I always keep them handy. I also take notes on them. What's this? Oh, my chiropractic appointment Wednesday at 10:30. Oh, good thing I know because that's tomorrow. I usually go on a Thursday. Good thing I saw that. Okay. This is the MP1 in Mermaid Tails with a stub nib. And the focus is working. Yay! All right, now as I write, I am going to zoom in. There we go. Again, this is the MP1. Limited edition. And these come as a set, the pen and the ink. Stub nib. And the ink is California Teal. This is incredibly juicy, and I am writing this on 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. And once I'm done swatching, I will turn the page over and we'll see what it looks like on the reverse, see if we have any ghosting, or heaven forbid we should have any bleed through. It can happen, especially with a stub nib. A stub nib allows a lot of ink to come flowing out. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this shade of blue. So pretty. And now we cover that up. And I'll use the Regatta in Santorini. And again, this is with a, I believe it's a fine. I'm trying to see. I wear bifocals. Yes, looks like enough to me. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a fine. And the color is Caribbean blue. And that is a fine nib. All right, moving right along here. Now we have the Impressa in black with rose gold trim. Very lovely executive vibe to this pen. And this has the Omniflex nib. 5 inks are swatched. My thoughts as to how the pens write. Again, I'm only sharing my thoughts on the 3 I just received from Monteverde and 𝗣𝗲𝗶𝗃𝗲 brands. Here is the sketch I did at the doctor's office. Let me show you that. That I did with the Dakota because I thought it would be a great sketching pen. And I'm telling you, I was so happy. I was balancing my little 𝗣𝗽𝗁𝗍𝗍 here, it's an A6, on my knee as I drew this whole thing. So I was able to get, you know, pretty recognizable things on the page. Again, it was teetering back and forth on my knee. So I'm really happy with it. It did a great job, and this is, of course, the ink Tanzanite. That's what I have this pen inked with currently. So I really love it. And the balance, it's just really nice for drawing. It's good for a quick drawing. I did this in probably, I don't know, probably about 8 minutes, because my doctor did not keep me waiting long. They never do when they have bad news. Yeah, I've got a torn rotator cuff and I need surgery. Oh boy. That's going to be a whole lot of 6 months of fun. But anyway, I digress. Okay, these are the ones that I did last night after I filmed and did not realize my recording was messed up because the focus on my camera was just wonky. So everything was just really fuzzy for this part of the video. But I really like the colors. They're very rich, very deep. They're bright. I love bright colors. I made some good choices here in the colors I decided to have them place in my ambassador box. Super, super happy. I'm trying to find the first swatch page, which is a little bit messier, but this is what I was doing when I didn't realize my focus element in my camera was just skewed somehow. But again, I took the nib through its paces with the tests here. They all write great on Tomoe River paper. All 3 pens, the nibs are very smooth. I will say about the stub and the mermaid tails, it is ultra, ultra juicy. And so I was really afraid of bleed through. It didn't bleed, except on the little heart that I drew in there. And that's because I went over that heart a couple of times with the ink. But otherwise, no bleed through, just some slight ghosting, and that is typical of Tomoe River paper. So everything, all 3 pens, all 5 inks did great on this paper. I am extremely happy with everything here. And again, there's the sketch I did with the Dakota, which is this one, named for the airplane. And I have to cover this because that's about my doctor's appointment, because that's May 19th, that's today. But I did write out a little bit with the 3 pens I received in my ambassador's package. And again, my impressions, the fine in the Dakota, so smooth, great for sketching, love it. The Impressa black with rose gold trim with the Omniflex nib, a very juicy Omniflex. Or perhaps the ink is just incredibly wet. That could be too, I don't know. A lot of ink comes out, writes like a dream, but without the Omniflex look, because you've got so much ink coming out of it, you're not getting that thick downstroke, thin upstroke. So let me see if I do like, let's do the letter M. It's usually a good example, but you press hard for the down, light on the up, hard on the down, light, hard, light, hard. Well, it's coming through here. I think I was writing too fast. Usually with an Omniflex, you do have to slow down your writing just a little bit. Sometimes more so. It depends on the manufacturer of that nib. But with Monteverde, I notice I only have to slightly slow my handwriting down with their Omniflex nibs. But there you go. Let's do an M with the stub, since I'm in the mood. Again, I'm using some pressure on the downstroke, very little pressure on the upstroke. So you see, even with the stub, you can get that faux calligraphy look if you write slowly and have a little bit of patience. Now here's the Dakota. It's a fine nib, so I don't expect to see much variation in the line width, but we'll write the same letter in the same manner. See what happens. Well, yeah, you get it here too. Not as pronounced. It jiggled on the ribbon underneath, so let me redo it one more time so we don't have to look at that little jiggle. But yeah, it's really nice. I am in love with this pen. I can't wait to do more sketching with it. I'm gonna remove the ink from this, put it back in the bottle, clean it, and fill it with Carbon Black by Platinum. That's waterproof. I'm a watercolor artist, and then I'll use that for sketches, and that way I'll be able to add watercolor if I want to. Because these inks themselves are not waterproof. If you look back at my sketch, okay, this is with the ink Tanzanite. I'm just taking a little bit of my saliva here. Hang on. See, it's going to smudge. Not bad, but I wouldn't want to do watercolor on this because it would just ruin my little sketch here. But yeah, with Carbon Black by Platinum, it's permanent. And I really like that ink anyway. It's a deep, deep black. So I will fill my Dakota with that. Okay, this one is... Okay, it is the Impressa with an Omniflex nib. The Omniflex nib allows for that faux calligraphy look because the nib itself has got a bit of a flex to it. So you press hard on the downstroke, light on the upstroke. You'll see when I put ink in the pen and run it through its paces. But there are the different Omniflex nib colors that Monteverde offers. It comes in black. This is going to be the rose gold to go with the rose gold trim. Comes in chrome, and it comes in 14 karat gold. Very, very classy. Really nice. It has a very executive look to it because of the black and the rose gold. Very pretty. So I will now leave that out. And in case you're unfamiliar with how companies package fountain pens, when you receive your first fountain pen ever, pull this out because underneath will be written information, how to fill the pen, how to take care of it, and any further information that the company wishes you to know about their fountain pen. So this stuff was all underneath that bedding of the pen. Okay, and this one came with all sorts of paperwork. I pulled this out ahead of time because I didn't want to be struggling with it on camera. This is the MP1 Monteverde piston pen in Mermaid Tails. This is a limited edition, numbered, and it comes with a bottle of California teal ink. So, of course, when I ink this pen, I will put that ink in it. And as it's piston filling, it does come with a clear barrel, so you can see your ink in there. But this is the Mermaid Tails limited edition stub nib. And where is the number? I know they come numbered. Yes, and I cannot read it because I wear bifocals. What is it? It's 1,284 out of 1,999. There you go. And there's the little mermaid on the label. So cute. And she has purple hair like I do, although my hair is not that purple. I wish it was. First, very important information on how to use your Monteverde piston locking pen. They call it the 𝗣𝗽𝗲 piston technology. And again, as I explained, you just have to get the dots to line up. Then you turn it to move the piston and fill your pen. It says here, the MP1 is the first internal piston fountain pen ever produced by Monteverde, USA. Released as part of Monteverde's 25th anniversary celebration, the MP1 represents a significant leap forward for fountain pens in its class, featuring innovative 𝗣𝗽𝗲 piston technology that prevents accidental activation of the piston knob between fillings. The MP1 is distinguished by its durable, anodized aluminum cap and radiant crystal clear barrel. At the core of the Monteverde MP1 is a premium No. 6 nib, produced exclusively for Monteverde in Germany by 𝗤𝗏. The nibs are offered in 6 distinctive point sizes: extra fine, fine, medium, broad, stub, the one I have is a stub, and Omniflex. Paired with an expertly designed plasma-treated feed system, the pen delivers consistent, reliable ink flow, ensuring rich and even lines without skipping or blotting, regardless of your writing speed or style. And that is dead on accurate, because I have the purple, what is it called? Is it called Frosted Purple or Purple Frost? I forget. But I have that one, the MP1, which is one of the first colors they came out with in this model. That became one of my favorite pens. Oh, here it is. Purple Frost. There you go. The Purple Frost, Purple Llama creature. And then each one is assigned a little whimsical character. So the other one I now have is Mermaid Tails. But really cute little characters associated with each of the pens. So you can order an additional pen and collect them all. You know, like with Pokemon, gotta catch them all. Here is the card that comes with the pen. And I'm sure you're tired of me reading to you, so I will just try to zoom in as best I can so you can read these for yourself or take a screenshot, read it later. It's all about how the Little Mermaid takes care of the ocean, and these are things we can do to help the health of the ocean. You know, first of all, big thing, skip single-use plastics, definitely. Pick up the trash, recycle properly, reduce chemical runoff, and support ocean-friendly actions. Now, okay, this card came in this green envelope. So I will just pop it back in there. That's the card with the characters on it. And it came with this little rubber sheet. This is for the piston, in case it's stubborn and you can't get it open. So this can be very handy. I highly recommend you do not lose this. Like I said, my Purple Frost is kind of stubborn, so it takes a bit of an effort. And like last time I filled it, I had to have my husband pop it open for me. I couldn't do it, but then again, I have a problem with each of my wrists. So that probably more than likely had something to do with it. But that is Mermaid Tails. And again, that has the stub nib in black. And now we'll go on to the next pen. And here we are with the 𝗣𝗏𝗃. The 𝗣𝗃𝗃 is named for an airplane with which the Allied forces basically won World War II. It says here, the Douglas C-47 Skytrain 𝗣𝗏𝗃, the military plane that played a pivotal role towards the Allied victory in World War II. The Monteverde, USA 𝗣𝗏𝗃 is a sleek, pocketable star that brings everyday carry to a new level. Each 𝗣𝗏𝗃 pen features the innovative slip-in cap, designed to glide effortlessly when capping or posting with an action that is both smooth and satisfying. This unique system allows for compact dimensions when capped that become full length and perfectly balanced when posted for writing. The 𝗣𝗏𝗃 collection is available in either fountain pen or gel pen models. The fountain pen features a premium number 5 nib produced exclusively for Monteverde in Germany by 𝗣𝗏𝗃. The nibs are offered in 3 distinctive point sizes: extra fine, fine, and medium. So there you go. Sorry I was off camera reading that, but again, I wear bifocals, and so I was trying to trying to read it, and because I can't see it through the camera lens. So I actually think I need new glasses just to top it off. But here is a pamphlet, and it is showing you the line of pens that Monteverde offers. All right, so now we're going to open this pen. Again, this is the 𝗣𝗏𝗃. This is how it comes packaged in the box. I went ahead and put that card back in after I filmed my intro for the video. And these are the colors it comes in. I ordered it in raw flame, and it says under the raw flame, actual pen color may vary. I don't know if it's because it's the way they treat the metal and the way the light will then hit it. But mine is really cool. I love it. It's got some blue, and I can see some pink or red in it, the way the light's hitting it, and of course gray. And the way they mix in places, the pen looks violet to me. It looks purple. Really, really cool. And then to uncap it, you just pull it out. And I got this one in a fine. I don't typically use a fine nib just because I'm very color oriented. So when I use an ink, I like to see the sheen in the ink, the mica, the shine, you know, and all that, and color variation. But I figured I wanted to try one of their fine nibs out anyway, so I got it in this pen. There it is. It fits right on there, does not go any further. Really nice. I'll have more to say about that once I ink it and swatch with it. So there are the 3 pens that I received from the very generous people at Monteverde. But now I'm going to ink them up, decide what ink to go in what pen for these 2, and then we'll need 2 more pens for the other inks. I'll be right back. So these 3 are the pens I received today. So Mermaid Tails will of course receive California Teal because that's the ink that came with that pen. The Black Impressa with rose gold trim is going to receive Topaz ink. Should go well with the rose gold, pretty much. The 𝗣𝗏𝗃 will receive Tanzanite. I pulled out these 2 extra Monteverde pens for the other 2 inks. This is the Innova Formula M in bronze. Really nice pen. And I have the Regatta in Santorini for Caribbean blue. Although Santorini is not in the Caribbean, it is in the Mediterranean. I was very fortunate in 2012 to visit Santorini. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. It's famous for its white stuccoed buildings with the blue domed roofs. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. A crazy Greek man there tried to get me to eat some octopus, and I was like, no, thank you. Get the 2 dots to line up. Pop the piston out. And then you rotate it away from you to bring the plunger down to the base. As far as it'll go, do not force it. There will be a tiny gap. That's normal. And then you put your pen in the bottle and pray you don't dump it over. Get your journal out of the way. Okay, here we go. I'll show you that as soon as I clean up this mess. Okay, let me clean off the pen first. I do blot the feet a little bit when I fill my pens so that I don't end up with a blob of ink on my paper when I start using the pen. I have not had a Monteverde pen do that, but I've had other brand pens do that, so I'm just always careful regardless of brand when it comes to that. But here we go. I'll show you how to get it completely filled with ink if you want your barrel completely filled. You tap it. This helps to bring the ink down into the barrel. Then you take your piston and turn it very carefully clockwise to push the ink up higher toward the nib. Watch the feet of your nib. You might see some little bubbles come up. That's just air being pushed out of the pen barrel. And once you get it as high as you can get it to where there is no ink leaving your pen, you're ready to fill it some more and see how much room I've made. And then you would just dip it in the bottle again and turn the piston and then carefully fill your pen. But I will not do that. I do have to be sure that these line up. The piston's a little loose, so you can get an exact alignment without having to rotate it. And then you just, of course, you have to cap it when you're going to close the piston. You don't want any ink that may be up in the feed to splatter out of your pen. Let me just snap it. And it's ready to go. This is the 𝗵𝗽𝗶𝗃𝗲𝗄 in black and rose gold. This is the converter. I'm going to take the converter out and fill it this way. It's quicker and less of a mess. Again, you be sure, rotate it so the converter's all the way down as far as it'll go. There's a little marble in there. This is just so there's a little bit of air in that converter so the ink will flow better when you're writing. And then here we are with the topaz ink. Now, just as I said for the piston pen, for any type of converter cartridge, again, you tap it a couple times just to be sure all the ink is down into the converter as far as it'll go. Carefully turn it to push the air out of the converter as far as you can go without pushing ink out to where you're not, making a whole mess. Dip it back in your bottle and then bring the converter back up. Lo and behold, you have a completely filled converter. I always do that because, converters are small enough. I want every little bit of that to be filled with ink. I'll tap it once or twice on a paper towel just to be sure I'm not getting any ink along the threads on the inside of the pen here. Pop it in. Some Monteverde converters have got threads on, they screw in, others are push in. This particular one of the 𝗵𝗽𝗃𝗲𝗄 is a push in. And then you let it sit for a couple of minutes and it should be ready to write. The nice thing about Monteverde pens is that they very seldom require any priming, any fussing with. They'll start writing in a couple of minutes. And now we do the 𝗣𝗽𝗁𝗃𝗲𝗄. This is with the tanzanite. I just love that deep, rich violet. Oh, that's a little snug. Hear that? Interesting. So be careful in pulling it out. It is a little snug. It's not going to mar the pen or harm the converter. This again is a pull out, push in, and then again you just turn it so the plunger is all the way up to the top. Insert it in the ink. Turn it to fill it up. And then you see all that extra space here? We can get rid of it and fill it up with ink. Again, we're pushing the air out. And we take it, pull up a little more ink, and we now have a completely filled cartridge. Or converter, I should say, not cartridge. And then again, I just tap it once or twice on the paper towel. Push it all the way in. There we go. Cap it, let it sit a couple of minutes. Cover up that ink before there's a disaster. Believe me, I've done that a number of times. This is the Monteverde Formula M. This converter has threads, so it has to be screwed in, and you'll feel the resistance, and you'll also feel when it stops. Again, don't try to force it. When it stops, leave it alone. And this is going to take the citrine. And again, we fill this one. This one I'm not going to fill all the way to the top, just because this to me is a fall colored pen. I use this pen in the fall. Yes, my pens are seasonal. I make them seasonal. So I don't really want to use this spring, summer, but I will use it until that ink is all gone. Nib was a little bit loose. That's because I took it all the way apart last time I used it to thoroughly clean it. It all comes apart. You can really get in there and clean the feed and everything. And put it all back together. And last but not least is the Santorini Regatta. Blue and white are the colors of Greece. If you ever go there, a lot of buildings, a lot of restaurants, hotels, resorts are all done in blue and white. So here we go. This is a really pretty shade of blue. I mean, really, it's like my favorite shade. I'm so glad it worked out that way. And I'm not going to fill this one up completely either because I don't consider blue to be a spring color. It's a winter color. Oh, and this converter screws in as well. All right, 5 pens and only 1 mishap. That's really good for me. All right. Anyway, I had a lot of fun, and I just sincerely thank the lovely people at Monteverde and also the parent company, 𝗣𝗽𝗶𝗃𝗃, for sending me these pens and these inks to try out and to review. And if you follow me on Instagram at Analog Creativity, you will see some posts featuring these pens. So do check me out over there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I just want to say thank you for watching. Again, excuse my inky hands. It's a normal fact of life for me. And I am 𝗍𝗑𝗄𝗃, and I am wishing you all a very blessed day ahead.